Some places, once you set foot there, they never quite let you go. Wide empty fields that seem harmless in the daylight. But when the rain lashes sideways and the wind hisses through the trees, you feel it. The stillness, the weight, the sense that something or someone is watching. Shaun Ritchie, 20 years old, born and bred in Fraserburgh, the Brock to the locals, a fishing town on Scotland's northeast coast. The sea air's sharp enough to sting your cheeks, but the folk are straight talking and loyal. Shaun was the kind of lad you'd notice. Tall, wiry, quick grin, the life of the party. He had that restless energy that never sat still for long. Loved a laugh, loved a night out. He'd help you move house in the morning and have you in the pub by tea time. Life in Fraserburgh has its own rhythm. It's a working fishing town on the edge of the North Sea. Plenty of character, but not a lot of nightlife. Once the pub closes, you're left with long, quiet streets and the sound of the wind and the water. For young people looking for more than just the usual places, that meant heading out, piling into vans or cars, music turned up, chasing somewhere, anywhere with a bit more space to make their own fun. That often meant derelict farms, remote houses dotted across miles of fields, places where you could play loud music, have a drink, and not worry about the neighbours calling the police. Halloween night, 2014. Shaun was in good spirits. He was with a group of 7 friends, all in their late teens and early 20s. They were heading to a club in town. They were driving inland, away from the safety of the harbour lights, into the countryside. Their destination? A remote run-down farmhouse in the Greenburn area near Strichen, a place locals say is as quiet as it is isolated, and with a population of just a few hundred. They'd been there before for gatherings, drink, music, and a bit of mischief. This was meant to be one of those nights. Shaun wasn't dressed for a long trek. Jeans, hoodie, and trainers. The weather had been wet for weeks, but that night it was rather mild. They arrived at the farmhouse sometime in the evening, the place lit only by whatever torches or lamps they'd brought with them. But whatever started as just a bit of fun didn't stay that way. Sometime later that night, something kicked off. Maybe just shouting, maybe more. Some of Shaun's friends had come in the same van as him. Others had driven in separately. And when the trouble started, the friends scattered. A few ran off across foot into the fields. Others got into their car and drove off. And by the end of the night, every single one of them was back home, except Shaun. The same night, the police received a phone call. The first call came in not long after midnight. Whoever it was didn't give a name, but they asked for help. Not a casual call either. The voice was described as urgent, maybe even panicked. The caller said they'd been in an accident and that someone needed assistance. They didn't explain exactly what happened, just that police should come. But before police officers could even be dispatched to the scene, a second call came in. The same phone number, the same area. This time, the voice was calmer. They said that the situation was under control and that no one needed any help. No explanation for the change and no details about what happened in those few short minutes. Why was it that someone would call for help and then cancel it a few moments later? Were they scared? Did someone else tell them to hang up? Or did they realise that involving the police might raise questions they didn't want to answer? By Sunday evening at 8:45 p.m, Shaun was officially reported missing. What followed was one of the largest searches Scotland had ever seen. Police, mountain rescue, RAF teams, divers, dog handlers, forensic soil and geoscience experts, they combed the fields, the ditches, the rivers, searching for any sign. The ground was soft and boggy, the kind that could swallow a man whole if he was injured or drunk. And yet, they found nothing. No footprints leading away. No phone, no body, just Shaun's belt and his brown trainers scattered in the mud, in different spots, like breadcrumbs leading nowhere. Some say Shaun wandered off, lost his way, and met a tragic end out in the fields. Others whisper about grudges, fights, and accidents that were covered up. And there are those who say that Greenburn itself is wrong. They talk about how the fog rolls in without warning. Whatever happened that Halloween night, Shaun Ritchie walked into the darkness and never came back. Here are a list of 5 possibilities that could have happened. Accidental death in the countryside. Shaun left the farmhouse on foot after the disturbance, possibly disorientated or injured and got lost in the dark. Maybe he stumbled into a bog, a ditch, or stream and was overcome by the cold and wet conditions. Foul play cover-up. Shaun was hurt or killed during a fight or altercation at or near the farmhouse. Others present panicked and hid what happened, possibly moving or concealing his body somewhere else. Injury followed by misadventure. Shaun could have been injured during the disturbance, left the area to get help, but became weaker and confused due to the weather. He may have collapsed somewhere where the search teams never looked. Accident involving a vehicle. While fleeing or moving between locations, Shaun could have been accidentally struck by a car or van, and the driver, possibly someone he knew, chose not to report it, instead disposing of evidence and concealing his whereabouts. Something unexplained or unusual. Shaun's disappearance might not fit neatly into an accident or crime theory. Some locals suggest strange phenomenon in the Greenburn area, disorientating fog, strange lights that may have caused him to wander off somewhere incredibly hard to locate. In the end, it's a story with no ending, just a locked door we've not yet found a key for. But one thing's for sure, the name Shaun Ritchie carries on in the wind, and if you find yourself walking those fields, you might just hear him calling back. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe. Cheers.